Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2026, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, Viksit Bharat at 2047, and World Social Work Month 2026. In collaboration with the Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing, and also International Federation of Social Workers and International and National Fraternity. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. Today, we are commemorating World Meteorology Day. Every 23rd March, the World Meteorological Organization commemorates the coming into force of the convention establishing the World Meteorological Organization on 23rd March 1950. It showcases the essential contribution of national meteorological and hydrological services to the safety and well-being of society and is celebrated with activities around the world. The theme chosen for World Meteorological Day reflect tropical weather, climate, or water-related issues. So the theme for World Meteorological Day 2026 is Observing Today, Protecting Tomorrow. So what's the weather going to be? It's one of the most asked questions. We take it for granted that we can find the answer in a matter of seconds at the touch of mobile phone screen or flick of the television switch. But behind each forecast are millions of observations crunched through thousands of processes in the extraordinary and unique global network coordinated by the World Meteorological Organization, in short known as WMO. Wherever you may be, on land, at sea, or in the air, the forecasts you are using are reliant on the free and open exchange of observational data orchestrated by WMO. From satellites orbiting Earth to weather balloons released into atmosphere to ocean buoys and ships riding the waves to remote stations, meteorological observations underpin everything from our daily routines to multi-billion-dollar decisions. The immense and often invisible observer and prediction system coordinated by WMO, the backbone of our economies, is the central nervous system for early warnings, which have saved many millions of lives. So this World Meteorological Day, therefore, celebrates the work of WMO community in observing our Earth to protect communities today and build resilience for tomorrow. So why do we need observations? Weather has no passport, climate knows no borders, and water connects us all. The challenges are too great for everyone. To go it alone, forecasts need observations from all over the planet, and no single individual country can do this. Global collaboration based on trust and data sharing is essential if we are to continue improving the accuracy, lead time, and accessibility of forecasts. Every economic decisions, every infrastructure investment, every crop planting schedule, every health, water, and energy management plan, and every supply chain adjustment is dependent on WMO's global observing and forecasting backbone. Extreme weather is consistently ranked as a top long-term risk by World Economic Forum business leaders and is the motivation for the UN Secretary General's life-saving early warnings for all initiative. There is no surprise, given that extreme weather-related hazards caused reported economic losses of US dollars 4.3 trillion between 1970 and 2001, 1970 and 2021, and killed nearly 2 million people. So early warnings are not a luxury, but a necessity, and they can make economic sense. According to the World Bank, universal access to early warning services will prevent at least 13 billion in asset losses and US dollars 22 billion in well-being losses every year. Just 24 hours advance warning can reduce storm or heat wave damage up to 30%. The risks are increasing as rising temperatures fuel more intense heat waves, external rainfall, and rapidly intensifying tropical cyclones. According to WMO State of Global Climate Report 2025, and one of the world's 3 warmest years on the record, the past 11 years have all been the 11 warmest. Record concentrations of greenhouse gases will lead to higher temperatures for generations to come. Earth observations are more important than ever to monitor the impacts of our rapidly changing climate, including land and ocean, heat, melting ice and glaciers, and rising sea levels. They are basis of weather and climate intelligence to inform decisions on how to protect our economies and our communities. But there are big gaps in the global observing system, both on land, in the cryosphere, and in the ocean, which undermine the effectiveness of our action. WMO is therefore committed to closing these gaps, funding the observing network is not at cost of the taxpayer, but an investment in economic security and long-term climate resilience and a bridge between nations and generations. Only by observing today, we can predict tomorrow. So how does the observation system work? WMO's World Weather Watch was founded in 1963. It is less well known than other WWW World Wide Web, but arguably just as important. Every day, millions of observations are gathered worldwide by thousands of land-based observation stations, stations, ocean buoys, ships, aircrafts, and satellites as part of WMO Integrated Global Observing System, WIGOs. The observations and data are shared via the WMO Information System, in short known as WIS, and run through the WMO Integrated Processing and Prediction System, in short known as WIPPS, that makes the products and services operationally available. In parallel with this, the Global Atmosphere Watch Network monitors levels of greenhouse gases and common pollutants, as well as state of the Earth's protective ozone layer. The Global Climate Observation System provides a longer-term perspectives for key climate indicators, which reflect the state of the planet. There are more than just titles and acronyms. It is thanks to the unrivaled combinations of human expertise, technological ingenuity, and global collaboration that reliable and timely forecasts are available to millions of people. Surface observations, temperature, humidity, pressure, rainfall, and wind from automatic weather stations from human observations are simultaneously recorded and transmitted. The network coordinated by WMO includes some 16,300 surface land meteorological stations, of which about 9,000 are in the global basic observing network. Twice a day, everyday weather balloons are launched at more than 1,000 locations on every continent, including remote polar and mountain regions, on small islands and city airports. They take measurements of temperature, humidity, and wind. As they ascend up to 30 kilometers into the atmosphere, with the data delayed in real time after more than an hour, the balloon bursts and the small instrument package descends. Ocean observations, the eyes of its thousands of observing platforms feed weather forecast, early warnings, and the climate prediction. A major contributor to the observations is the AGRO program, with nearly 4,000 robotic floats, which monitor ocean heat, salinity, and circulation patterns. In addition, more than 1,000 voluntary observing ships provide real-time meteorological data, and there is a campaign to increase this to 10,000 ships. Aircraft observations, weather forecasts are essential for flight safety and efficiency, and aircraft feed into the observing system that they benefit from. More than 7 lakh high quality observations per day of air temperature and wind speed and direction are made by the Global Aircraft Meteorological Data Relay, in short known as AMDAR, observing system, which embrace WMO, aviation authorities, and 40 commercial airline companies. Satellites, Earth observation satellite data are the most crucial input for weather forecasting and are operated by more than 90 space agencies or organizations. There are currently in orbit around 400 Earth observation satellites, of which 31 geostationary at 32,000 kilometers and more than 300 polar orbiting 500 to 800 kilometers. In addition, there are satellites on the other orbits, mainly supporting space weather applications. So these satellites provide a continuous global view of atmosphere, oceans, land surface, and ice. They allow us to track developing storms, measure temperatures, observe sea level rise, and changes in glaciers and sea ice. Detect wildfires and dust storms. Without satellites, large parts of the planet, especially the oceans, which cover more than 70% of their surface, would remain poorly observed. So closing the gap in observations, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Weather forecasts depend on the access to 24 by 7 global observations, but there are large geographical gaps. Many stations in least developed countries and small island developing countries are either non-operational or reporting inconsistently. This results in significant data gaps, especially in Africa, where surface station density is far below than global standards, reducing forecast accuracy not only locally but globally. To address the climate change, WMO's Global Basic Observing Network paves the way for a radical overhaul of the international exchange of observational data, which underpin all weather, climate, and water services and products. Better data means better preparedness, allowing countries to save lives and safeguard livelihoods. The Systematic Observation Financing Facility, SOFF, provides long-term financial and teacher support to ensure least developed countries and small island developing states can generate and exchange internationally required observations on a sustained basis. So closing the essential weather and climate data gap can reduce errors in weather forecasts by 30% in Africa and 20% in the Pacific. According to an impact experiment study by the European Centers for Medium Range Weather Forecast, and according to the World Bank, these empowerments could generate US dollars 5 billion in direct annual benefits and unlock US dollars 160 billion in wider economic gains across the key sectors such as agriculture, energy, water, and transport. There are also gaps in wider Earth observation network. The Global Climate Observing System and its partner, the Global Ocean Observing System, are facing gaps in the C2 networks, ongoing funding challenges, and barriers to data success. So we need to close the gaps now. Protecting tomorrow. Every forecast we issue, early warning we disseminate, every data set we exchange is ultimately about one thing: protecting tomorrow, tomorrow's people, tomorrow's planet. Accurate, timely, and accessible meteorological, hydrological, and climate data are the foundation of resilience. They will become more important in the future as the world approaches the inevitable overshoot of the 1.5 degree Celsius target set out in the Paris Agreement on climate change. It is essential to try to limit the size and duration of this overshoot before it spirals out of control. In addition to the risks, there are many opportunities. We are living through a technological revolution. Artificial intelligence and advanced computing are transforming weather and climate science and have enormous potential to support climate adoption, disaster risk reduction, and sustainable development. AI is enhancing forecast skill and improving impact-based warnings, and if used equitably, will help developing countries. Without supercomputers, so much solve to more advanced capabilities. We must foster innovation while upholding trust. The capabilities delivered by AI must complement, not replace, the authoritative role of national meteorological and hydrological services. Human intelligence remains the bedrock of artificial intelligence. Protecting tomorrow requires investing in education, training, and opportunities for youth in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It requires listening to the voices of young people who will live with the consequences of today's decisions. Young people are not just the leaders of tomorrow, they are leaders today. Around the world, young meteorologists, hydrologists, oceanographers, and climate scientists are driving innovation and action. WMO's Youth Action Plan seeks to engage and empower the next generation of weather and climate professionals from all regions of the world. World Meteorological Day reminds us that weather, climate, and water connects us all. When we observe today, we don't just predict the weather, we protect tomorrow. Today is also commemorated as World Math Day on March 23rd, and we are counting on you to show up, flex these brain muscles, start those cerebral engines. It's time for the world's biggest mathletics event. Every year, millions of students worldwide battle it online to make math history. An event buzzing with energy today is dedicated to the wonderful world of numbers. And if you are interested in entering the world of college math, math is beautiful and all around us, but some people's palms get sweaty, eyes weak, and arms heavy. Just thinking of the math. If this is you, you are not alone, and it's okay. World Math Day hopes to change everyone's mind and aims to change the irrational fear of math into a lifelong fascination. Founded by 3P Learning, World Math Day gives people everywhere everywhere a chance to participate in the largest online maths competition on the planet. What makes the competition stand out from rest? Firstly, all students are welcome, regardless of age and ability levels. What's more, it combines math problems with multiplayer online gaming, which explains the event massive popularity with students. Speed and accuracy are essential in live mathematics, especially since you are competing against peers globally. The first World Math Day took place in March 2007, where 287,000 from 98 countries participated. The number of participants have only grown since then. It's incredible to think that students everywhere are simultaneously logging in and excited to crush a math contest. Because it is just us, or we have we lost the joy of learning math along the way? Math isn't so much a subject for many students and adults as it is a source of debilitating anxiety. Math anxiety is a real thing, and no, it isn't an indicator of person's intelligence. Educational research conclusively shows that math aptitude depends on your attitudes and beliefs. Someone who believes that math is too hard for them thinks of it as an essential truth. No amount of tutoring will help, or so they believe. Students also pick up subliminal messages from their environments, such as parental attitudes towards math. Sometimes teachings can pass on anxiety to their classrooms. What kills the joy is usually an over reliance on textbooks without presenting math in relevant ways. It is a disservice to the beauty of math. Math is an old as human civilization. Math isn't just a problem to solve, but exists everywhere in the natural world, music, art, and as patterns and harmony in everyday life. Above all, doing math is fun. World Math Day brings people from different cultures together to celebrate a shared love of math. So, in the West, Archimedes is known as the father of mathematics. He lived in Greece from 287 BC to 212 BC. The ancient Greeks first invented math as a subject in the West thanks to Pythagoras, as Ionian Greek philosopher. The Greeks established a systematic study of mathematics as we know it today as modern mathematics. So maths was not new to India as the ancient civilization in the world, and there is a lot of credit that India and Indian mathematicians, sages have contributed to mathematics. Hindu astronomer and mathematician Brahmagupta made the first modern equivalent of zero. He made a dot underneath a number to indicate zero. And many more contributions from India to the world. Today is also commemorated as Atheist Day. In US, observed on March 23 is a day that focuses on who do not want to believe in God. The term atheism first emerged in medieval Europe more than 400 years ago and was used to describe who rejected the thought of higher power. In the present thought day, and there are said to be over 4,000 religions in this world, and almost every one of them has associated festivals and observances. Although athletes do not believe in God, they do choose a special day to be set aside, hence the creation of the Atheist Day. The concept of atheism is said to be as old as religion itself. There have been records and writings suggesting that even Judaism during 500 BC, some people did not believe in existence of gods. There has also been evidence suggesting the same in Christianity and Islam later on. Lokayukta Lokayata was the school in India during the 6th century BC, which was openly atheistic. However, in those times, being an atheist was frowned upon. Being called an atheist was taken as an insult. Even stories suggest that people with such beliefs were executed and treated as outcasts in societies. In Middle Ages, many freethinkers like al-Mari in Persia, Nicholas of Cusa from ancient Germany further spread the concept of atheism during the Renaissance. Leonardo da Vinci and Nicola Machiavelli challenged the views of church and religion. With communism rising in Eastern Europe and Asia, the concept of atheism became more acceptable, though the term atheist was simply used as an umbrella term to refer to someone who didn't believe in God, and there exist different levels of atheism in society. Some people were skeptical about beliefs in general, some didn't believe in God, but felt that it could be tolerated. And then there were some, like new atheists, who believed in not just tolerating it, but rather opposing it. Agnosticism was a concept that stemmed from this belief. It suggested that the existence or non-existence of God cannot be proved. It is estimated that about 7% of the world population are atheists. About 7 in 10 atheists are in US and are men. It is common misconception that the Soviet Union was a completely atheist state. In medieval times, atheists were tortured and executed, including Italian philosopher Giulio Vanini. The Nazi army did not allow atheists into the Schutzstaffel. Atheist Day sheds lights on the beliefs of atheists and atheism. There are thousands of religions in the world, and their beliefs are well known and respected. However, the beliefs of atheists are often ignored and even looked down upon. Atheist Day allows us to recognize and appreciate the beliefs of atheists. Atheism remains one of the most controversial and sensitive topics for debates, both sides having strong arguments, and it has never reached a proper conclusion. This day allows us to debate, discuss, and learn, and it is a day of learning for both atheists and theists as we discuss, read, and learn more about the religion, beliefs, atheism. We expand our knowledge and understand in-depth things we often ignore. Today is also commemorated as Cuddly Kitten Day on March 23rd. The furry felines deserve all the love in the world. That's what Cuddly Kitten Day, held on March 23, is going to deliver. It's exactly what it sounds like, a special day for cuddling the feline fur baby in your life. What makes this day so important are these figures: 90 million domesticated kitties in the US alone and 220 million domesticated cats around the world. Day is also commemorated as National Chip and Dip Day on March 23rd in US. Annually celebrates an all-American crowd pleaser. Who doesn't love a tasty chip and dip combo? It would be tough to find that person in the US, since 284.37 million Americans consumed potato chips in 2020. Innovative flavors and a focus on unique cultural varieties have elevated the popularity of this traditionally simple, inexpensive snack. Today, chips and dip fit parties of all styles and occasions. Today is also commemorated as Day of the Liberation of Southern Africa on March 23rd. Every year, the day is significant for the region since it is considered a watershed moment in the history of South Africa. The day commemorates the Vito Cunwell combat, which took place in 1988 in Angolan province of Cubango, between the Angolan army assisted by Cuban forces and invading troops from South Africa's former apartheid state. The combat in Angola's southwestern region resulted in the withdrawal of South African ANC and Cuban forces, as well as Namibia's independence. The Battle of Puerto Cunawell is remembered in various countries in south of continent. Today is also commemorated as National Chia Day on March 23rd in US, celebrated every year. We thank the planet for giving us endless supply of matchless nutrient punch within these flattened ovals, the size of few millimeters. Chia seeds have been around for more than 3,500 years, but only received spotlight they so rightfully deserve in 2016. There are small, mighty seeds known as one of the rare superfoods on the planet. Today is also commemorated as National Puppy Day on March 23rd in US. Prepare yourself for an overdose of cuteness because March 23rd, which is National Puppy Day, established in 2006, is a possum day for all dog enthusiasts to celebrate unconditional love and fawn over the undeniably cute fur balls that bring so much happiness into this world. While we are all softies when it comes to our four-legged friends, today is also designed to raise awareness about puppy mills and help prospective pet owners consider adoption. Today is also commemorated as Near Miss Day on March 23rd in US, celebrated each year. What you would do if a huge asteroid was about to hit planet Earth on March 23rd, 1989, as the asteroid about the size of a mountain came very close to colliding with the Earth. Thankfully, it was near miss. Otherwise, the effect of collision would have been devastating. People around the world celebrate this day to be grateful that the asteroid didn't wipe us out. According to the scientists and astronomers, many meteoroids and asteroids have passed by the Earth since 1989. However, the odds of an asteroid hitting the Earth are not high. That's a relief. Today is also commemorated as OK Day on March 23rd each year. The humble OK, or however you spell it, get its chance to shine on OK Day, a global event celebrated today. The day is all about recognizing the worth of this evergreen noun, verb, adjective, adverb, interjection, who, whichever is so popular that it transcends the language barrier a long time ago. It's not uncommon to hear a French, Korean, or any other non-English speaking person casually slip in an okay while speaking in their native tongue. On this day, the word is paying homage to what it is probably most used word. Today is also commemorated as Otago Anniversary Day in New Zealand, pays homage to one of its provinces, Otago, every year, each year on Otago Anniversary Day, officially on March 23rd. The celebrations themselves, of which there are multiple local events, parties, and more, take place on the public holiday that falls on the Monday immediately after March 23rd. People explore the region, learn about its history, and most will come together in one of the Otago's main cities, such as Junde. Today is also commemorated as Ravenclaw Pride Day on March 23rd, which comes around each year on March 23rd. Just like other houses from Hogwarts, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin, on their own Pride Days, Ravenclaw Special Day celebrates everything about this house, from the house colors to its eccentric alumni. While Ravenclaw Pride Day is a global event, celebrations mostly take place in the UK and the US. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us in today's commemorations and celebrations. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before leaving the platform. See you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link. Take care. Good night.